pastor taco and an El Pastor vampiro with everything to go. My name is Joe. Find another card. A bad day. Maybe I got a cash out.
¿Listo? Ángel. Ángel Burger. Ya la bebida se la dieron.
Hola, Mía. Mía.
Isabel.
Alexander. No. Orden de Brian.
I'm not gonna say anything in there. Everyone obese. Processed tortilla. Yeah, I only got 2. Yeah, they always look like they, on a Saturday night, they look like they've been dancing or they've been to the rodeo. One of the two. No, In-N-Out Burger, the one that had all the problems. I think it's about 250 miles away from me. It's not that far. I could be there in a couple hours. And funny, one of my friends was up there last week to take his Russian wife to In-N-Out. And I wonder what he's going to say about it now. I don't get on Facebook very often, but I was noticing who's there. He was talking them In-N-Out down, and it was the same one. They just opened on the 24th last month. Boy, I like an In-N-Out burger every once in a while, but I don't like them enough to die over it. I grew up or lived in California for a long time, and I'd never eaten there because it was from Southern California. And there was just always other better food that I was interested in. Getting better hamburgers, I guess. I didn't know they were inexpensive, sort of. Compared to like McDonald's. I think they have a better burger than McDonald's. Some people don't like them. Their fries are whatever, blah. But when they're hot, look at this, like real old ladies dressed like teenagers. I mean, I like Mexico though, I think. I'm probably going to go somewhere where there's a lot of Canadians and Americans. So. I was just thinking in there how this is what happens when you date indigenous girls and you're Spanish. Baby bra. Maybe because Mexico is below the United States. It's above. Canada's below the United States. It's all Canada's fault. No, I'm sure Mexico's fine. I've been there. I haven't been there in a long time. When I was there before, the first 3 times, I don't know. I wasn't really that impressed. But I only went like, to Ensenada, saw Tijuana. I only saw a few of the border towns. I need to get deep into Mexico. Like go down to Mexico City, past Mexico City. I'm not really interested in seeing Mexico City. I probably would like Guadalajara from what I've seen in videos, but I've never been that far knee deep in it. And they're not, I wouldn't call them a third world country. I'd call them a developing country. It's not politically correct to say third world anymore. And they got Costco, they got Walmart, they got 7-Eleven, or the equivalent. So, wouldn't be much different than Southern California, really. I can't speak Spanish. I mean, I can understand some of it. I can pretty much read it. I used to be able to write it, but it's been so long. I should have gone down there for a while and learned it. It's funny when the missionaries go down there and they come back fluent. But, if they've been down there 2 years, I guess it's long enough to learn a little bit. I took 6 years of it, but it was just, 8 months out of the year for maybe an hour a day or something, 5 days a week. That wasn't enough. It was enough to learn something, but it wasn't enough to become fluent. Which I just figured, why would I need to be fluent in Spanish? I never thought of moving down there in those days. Like, hell no. But now, probably be a great place to retire. I obviously like the food. There's a couple of attractive girls there. Oh, Last week I was down here when a Mormon cowboy chick came in. Boy, was she hot. Wish I could have got her on camera. Because it's content. That's the only reason. Because you notice 18 people show up when I show up at the... go live at the taco place, but I hang out at McDonald's and everybody's like, no. I get it. Mexican place is more exotic. And you guys saw up that girl's dress just like I did. Or at least it looked like we were looking up her dress. I didn't, like, stare at it. Some of them, you know, I don't know. If I was a father, you know, had a daughter, I would tell her, you're not going out looking like that. You're not going out looking like a tramp. Some nights they have really nice shoes on. I've seen it like, it really did look like they were all out, the girls were out dancing and they had intricate shoes. Like little beads on them and, I don't know, shiny shit. Like, what do you call it, rhinestones? They look like rhinestone cowgirls. It's been hot here. It's been nice. Now here comes one that's nice looking. I don't know if she'll walk in front of the camera. I think she will. You guys will see.
She probably
She's right there. I know she's not. I don't think she's Mexican. Ooh, look at, they're all Bettys. Oh, all but one. Oh, Betty boobs. So this is all for the food. Look at that. Food and once in a while there's some pretty girls.
Come on,
Took too long to get the food though. Factory reset button. Where? I had a girlfriend from Honduras for a couple of months. She had too hot of a temper for me. And you know what? She was on pretty good for a few weeks. And then I just saw a side of her that kind of scary. I don't want to piss her off. I don't want to be bossed around by a Honduran woman the rest of my life. Noodles. I ate at Noodles and Company finally. Oh my god, that place sucks. Somebody wanted an order delivered 30 miles. I'm like, why would they want to get shitty pasta? Like, and I love pasta, but good pasta. Like, Noodles and Company's a bunch of kids who take way too long to make the food. What is this, coconut? Put something in there I ain't eating. Every once in a while they surprise me. I like pineapple. Pineapple on this one. Fresh pineapple would be good. Hello, David. I'm eating. Mexico is above the United States, damn it. You know, they have the United States of Mexico. It's true. I mean, it couldn't be, there's got to be places that are just as nice as California, but don't cost you like $1 million for a tiny house. And I don't want to live on the beach. I want to live on the coast again. I mean, it wasn't bad. I could, but I don't want to. Wish I could turn this over there. You guys would be much more happier. Well, I'll do it until the phone falls. I could move over one when one of these cars leaves, but they're really busy tonight. It's nice seeing, you know, other than Mormon people once in a while. Yeah. Al pastor, yes, both. I haven't even really torn into them, just nibbling at the, well, with my fork. Because they were huge. If I pick them up, they're going to fall apart. Yeah. I already had pork earlier for lunch, but it was pulled pork. A lot of pork. I'm oozing with pork. I only know one place that has asada, a really good asada, and they closed at 10. And I ate there a couple days ago. $15 for a burrito now. I'm like, holy crap! I don't even in Mexico. I don't even think you can get a $15. Probably get a $15 like shrimp burrito or something, or some sort of seafood one, or pure steak, which would probably be asada. It'd be cool to have a ribeye burrito. But in Mexico, I bet you could still get a burrito for $7, $6, $5. You probably get from $5 to $10. You can get a hell of a burrito. Remember when I was a kid, we'd get these burritos. They're so big, we couldn't even eat the whole thing. It'd be really hard to. Now the burritos are smaller and more expensive. It was California that got me into Mexican food because we really didn't have any good Mexican food here. I'd say for years there was American Mexican, which it ain't the same. I can't get the phone to balance. Oh, maybe if I do this. No, that's not gonna work. I gotta focus on eating here. I know it's gotten boring. I ain't going back in there. I don't know how interesting it was, but I was looking around. I'm hoping the cartel won't notice I'm exposing their operations to the world. This place is like a effing bank, but you know what? They worked their asses off here for this. And it's hot in there too. I wouldn't want to work in that kitchen. Maybe when I was younger, I probably could have taken some of the heat, but now, I don't know. It'd be ridiculous to even try. I could probably manage the mornings here for an hour or two, and then I'd be like, I'm done. Stick to my night jobs. Oh, I stood next to this girl that just came out, sort of in line. Her boyfriend comes up and makes it very clear she's taken. I wasn't staring at her. She reminded me of a girl, though, that I dated in California. She looked kind of like her in a way. But I'm too old for all this shit anymore. I will, though, when I get out of Utah. Start dating probably again. Find some widow. Or whatever. How about a nice 35-year-old girlfriend would be nice too, but I would disappoint her when I don't live another 30 years. Or did I just lose my food? Oh man. Almost lost it. See, I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing here. This is crazy. I almost lost the food on the floor. I gotta clean up the seat. Which doesn't work, so it'd be so much easier. Go get a towel. So now it's gonna look, my seat's gonna look nasty until I clean it. You know, it takes one gun going off and I'm done. I'm ready to go home. Oh, my phone's still on my leg. 12 people looking at my leg. Chewy brought both his girlfriends. I need to have a special shirt for when I will eat here, because I make a freaking mess. That's all I'll say. I don't want to ruin the work shirt. Holy shit, look at all the people in there now. Standing room only. Oh yeah. Once in a while some really drunk people come in. Or like this guy from Wyoming. I wonder what that rag on the side of his hip means. He's trolling for skank. Probably means something. He lived in New York City. Or did. Oh, there's his boyfriend. It almost looks like the cowboy chick. She had a hot little body like that. So, some white people come in here. Crazy white people. The food isn't bad. God, what happened to my other hot sauce? Oh, I had 3 of them. Oh, there it is. Here it is. I gotta try to eat this without making a freaking disaster. And I never eat. I don't think I've ever eaten here inside. And at the other one, I think once I ate out on the patio because it was a day there wasn't much people there. I prefer to mess up my car. Hello, Francisco Nieves. Oh, this guy's drunk. Wow, it's hot. Spicy hot. Gotta get the limes out. Yeah, I'm surprised. I wonder how many times a week or month they have fights here. I've seen a few sketchy people, but there's all types of people. There isn't a lot of white people that come in, though. Some, but not a lot. Most white people are probably scared to come down here. Or they don't want to feel like they're mixing with the wrong crowd or something. I don't know. Mormons are fairly racist and they like bland food. Or we probably have better food here. We really don't. And in LA, well, Southern California, I got used to going to these bad parts of town to get really good burritos and food. Or they'd hand them out a window with bars on it. You hand them the cash, they hand you the food. Late at night. It was always really, really good. I'd usually get recommendations from people and say, well, down in wherever. And it wasn't places like Newport Beach, it was more like Santa Ana or, I don't know. Even Temecula had damn good Mexican food. And I also liked sit-down Mexican restaurants. Most of which, the ones I'd mentioned, aren't even around anymore. But there's ones like them still around, just whatever, El Torito, wherever. La Plaza is gone. bet every once in a while shit hits the fan here, though. I've never seen the police here. I guess ICE would show up here once in a while, and they finally told them to hit the road. They're not going to serve them. Or they told them they weren't, they were trespassing. They had some signs here, and then they took them down. No. Oh, there is a fight going on or something. But I'm eating. I'm not going to stop eating to document a chick fight, but chick fights get ugly. It's one of the bloodiest fights I've ever seen them. Girls ripping earrings out. He said something about tequila. Yeah, some of them probably just got back from the bar. They have some Mexican bars here. I've never been in one. I don't care to. I'm hoping in Mexico they have good microbrew beers. I've heard there's possibly some that aren't, like exported. That might be good. You guys like fucking staring at me like I don't have a problem. Oh. I haven't got locked out of his car. I'm gonna roll up my window just in case he's having a problemo. He's like really staring at me. Hope he's not still looking at me. Oh, there's someone parked behind me now blocking me in. All I got is content spray. I don't have a gun with me. I felt like I needed one, but you never know. Things have gotten worse over time here. A lot of road rage. People are dying over road rage now quite a bit. Maybe not lately right now, but where my dad lived, two deaths in 1 month. And we had people die, but not road rage dying. They die from other stupid shit. Hunting accidents. I think he's drunk. Oh, he can't get out. But he's going forward now. Now he's going in to complain. There's somebody blocking me and him in. That's what he's pissed off about. I'm not in any hurry. I'll be chewing for a while. I wonder if somebody parked their car there and then like went in or something. Yeah, there's getting like too many people coming now. This guy's pissed. I don't know what he's gonna do about it. And now people are all apologizing in English. That's weird. Lo siento is I'm sorry in Spanish. I know that. Now he's acting like no big deal. Okay, good. All he knows it's not my fault. coast a little bit.
GhostFed.com/George and use promo code George when you're there. That's GhostFed.com/George, promo code George. GhostFed.
It took so long to get this effing food. Not in a hurry to inhale it. But, you know, I wish I would have had something at home other than a TV dinner. I have shish kebab, but I don't want to eat that again. I had it 2 nights ago. This guy's drunk. Staggering a little.
Secure your communications today. Visit rapidradios.com/bundle. Rapid Radios. Communication redefined.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and
I would never come here when I'm in a hurry. There's got to be a way to get the food a little faster, but you're not going to get it fresher. Oh, he did get somebody. Maybe a person passed out their car. Or something.
Welcome back to Coast AM. I forgot to give Jonathan's website at the intro there. Jonathan Kendall, KENDALLMD.com, and you can find out a little bit more about his books and about Jonathan on his website. It's his name, Jonathan.
I need to get an RV.
KENDALLMD.com. Jonathan, are you up for answering some questions?
Someday.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, let's talk to...
I wonder if the person just parked their car there and went in to order, because it'll be there for what? I ain't going. I can't. Literally cannot go anywhere.
Yes, thanks, Lisa.
But I'm not even done.
And thanks for...
I haven't even eaten the taco yet. I haven't eaten her taco.
Jonathan Kendall.
Yeah, I have a reading. Dr. Jonathan Kendall, thanks for your insight and knowledge. There is a book by Ray Stanford, which I read, called The Fatima Prophecy, which James Fox is actually a friend.
It'd be nice to have some chocolate, or I think I got a donut at home, but it doesn't do me any good here.
1917 Fatima, Portugal sighting by the 3 children of a Marian apparition.
They have ice cream in there, but shit, it'd take a half hour to get an ice cream. I ain't going back in.
Maybe not so much an apparition per se, but maybe that's how it was conveyed by the children. And there's another side.
You're gonna have to physically lift the car up and move it.
Extraterrestrial, and that's what the book goes into. That there's UFOs and it's real. It kind of links to that. And I was wondering.
Ooh, that girl has some nice shorts on.
And to say also, Jonathan Kendall, that the UFO phenomenon
Fit like a glove.
is also.
Oh, there's a little kid coming out. I guess I'll turn the camera. Oh, I met those people were in there when I was ordering.
About all this, because it's all linked together. You can't just pinpoint it. It's all about.
We're not hurry.
Like you said, national security, the nuclear reality that they are wanting to control or help us out. You know, I had my sighting. Blue, silver craft, you know, my father's father built nuclear weapons, nuclear physicist. My grandfather,
I wonder why he was looking at me like I had something to do with it. He's gonna. Oh, the car moved. Good.
And I went out.
He's pissed. I know that.
And they said they're gonna take care of me in the future. This is 2005. In 2012,
He doesn't drag me into this fucking bullshit.
I got a picture, like I could see people on board, and there were humanoids, like blonde women was in charge, like blonde, blue-eyed, tall, and there were like 7 people in there, and then
his spot was the perfect spot if you guys want to see.
Wow.
So I'm looking at this crowd.
In there.
It just lit out of nothing. It was not there, and then it appeared.
I tried, but
and I was just standing there like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
What a cool experience, and thank you.
I don't want to make it obvious to people that
that's
they're
really,
lying.
you are family. You are a part of it, and the history that you have between your father and your mother and all of that is probably they had a similar
I can
experience.
zoom out.
So
Nope, can't.
thank you for reporting that.
Oh, and here comes another car.
Appreciate that. You must
It's
hear
hard to
a
get
lot of these
spots here. I was shocked I even got this one. which wasn't that bad.
At this point, yeah, I've mostly read about such cases. So, yeah,
So we're almost near the door.
Folks like Aaron, but thank you
Oh,
for that.
town.
Please, for everyone else, just call me Jonathan or JK.
I'm west of Salt Lake City
Yeah, it sounds like
right now.
the humanoids he describes there sound like what they call the Nordics in the literature, which are very human-fearing.
I don't like going downtown anymore. It's worse than this. This is actually not that bad. And I guess I'm used, because of Southern California, I'm used to busy Mexican places like this. I would have never on my own, oh, I'm gonna go eat there, but after years of places like this, and this place is actually pretty nice. They clean, they work hard here, and they even mop the sidewalk. Oh my God. I already saw this chick. She's looking better. She's looking better. I think I saw her. That's a carbon copy. Look, some of the shit they wear. Ooh. One girl in black tights. Sorry you guys aren't seeing half the shit, huh? I just don't want to make it obvious, because some of their boyfriends could get like pissed off and say, hey, I don't consent. And I am on private property. I'm not like it. Not at City Hall. And the employees are pretty cool. That guy just went in. He's an employee. He saw that. Probably saw what I was doing. But I'm not targeting anybody really. I'm just sort of walking by. Oh, and at their other store, the grocery store has chocolate cake for like $1.50, and it's huge. It's like bigger than my hand. It's such a big piece of chocolate cake. I can't even eat the whole thing. That one closes like at midnight. But now I always order the chocolate cake. And they have other stuff in the bakery. This one doesn't have a bakery nearby. But their bakery isn't bad. I mean, for $1.50, you can't get a piece of chocolate cake here in town anywhere for $1.50 other than whatever the name of that grocery store. And it's another clean one. Some of these grocery stores and other places have cockroaches or gross. These people take a lot of pride in their business. It's like a bank. It's like a bank that serves food. And it's very popular, especially with Hispanic people. Menu's pretty limited, but everything's pretty good. No, it's funny, they got a flat camera though in the other property recording all our license plates. Ooh, there's a beauty. And they walked the other way. Damn it. There's some people here that look white and then they're speaking Spanish. White Spanish. White Mexicans. Yeah, there's more people in there now than there was when I got here. And I sat in the car because I didn't want to get in line. It took, hell, 20 minutes this time. Anytime I come here on Saturday, it really takes too long. I think the fastest I got in and out of the other store was less than 10 minutes. But the other store is cramped. I mean, they can't, this is the bigger store. But then more people show up at this one than the other one. The grocery store though is actually pretty nice. If I can find another place behind me, I might sit here for a little while, smoke a cigarette, and drink some iced coffee. Spanglish. That's all I can ever hope. To speak Spanglish. I know some words, but not enough to. It's not even close to being fluent.
Mysterious, very mysterious. Thank you so much for sharing.
I could probably have a conversation with a conversation with a kid.
Let's see if we could go to.
Or a parrot.
Greg from Remsen, New York.
But unless I move down there, I doubt I'm ever going to be even halfway fluent. Or even close. I know enough to get myself into a lot of trouble. And when I've gone to Mexico last time, I brought a Spanish dictionary with me. English, Spanish. Still have it somewhere in my Bronco. And it helped. It was something we needed. I still didn't really understand what the other guy was telling me.
No charging stations.
Well, if I can get everything back to my bag and not spill anything.
Industries, what do you think?
Yes, economically it would be a big thing. Like some.
I think it was worth coming here. I don't like shitty fast food. Although I eat it once in a great while.
Why is climate change still with us? Because we would still have. Or at least
I had Hawaiian food for lunch. Oh, and I didn't eat all my jalapeno. Good, I don't need it. I gotta contain this food. What's left of it? Well, here comes the cartel. I wish I have a smaller camera that people would not even notice is a camera. But I just don't want to be obvious. Because people could get upset. Especially people that don't want to be documented. Or especially, now when people are getting deported. That could also... So I wonder how many people walked by that have overstayed or here illegally. But that's none of my business, really. I just don't want to start an international incident just because I wanted a taco. Get attacked by a taco. I actually like the other place better because of the grocery store. But when they're not really, 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 really busy, their chocolate cake is $1.50. Holy shit. That's enough cake for like 2 people. And it's good. It's too bad they don't sell it on a paper plate. They just throw it in a bag. Which for $1.50, I'm like, okay, throw it in a bag.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you for answering that because it is curious. Let's see here if we go to.
And then I always have more cake than I need.
Do you have a comment or question?
Or than I can eat.
For Jonathan?
The Hat Cartel. Yeah, then some of these people are decent. Maybe not all of them. That one girl wants to be on YouTube. Some chicks want to be in front of the camera. It was 107 degrees today. Maybe even 108 somewhere. I worked indoors, so. I like the one with the cup in her hand. She doesn't seem, I don't know. She doesn't seem to know anything about English. And the stuff they're wearing, I mean, are these Disney clothes? Look, I can see the girl's butt. Well, you guys can't. She's dressed like Ariel from Disney. Yeah, chocolate cake would be nice right now. I don't want to be obvious and put the phone in my hand. Looks like this guy knows what I'm doing. And some of these guys are getting off work. They don't close for another couple hours. We got lucky with one or two good-looking girls there. You guys, I don't think you can see the third one. She is dressed like Ariel. Probably when she was a little kid, her mom dressed her up like a little princess. They're looking for guys. And one girl's trying to look tough, chewing her ice. Chew that ice.
Since retired now, she had multiple space missions and she could not explain. So
She totally don't smoke.
I'm sure she's not.
It's for my health. She wasn't Spanish. Hello, sir, don't smoke. I think that's what she said. Did she? Yeah, German. German Mexicans. The worst kind. I should have talked to her. But I'm old enough to almost be her grandfather. Probably. No, maybe not her grandfather. I'm old enough to be her father for sure. Some of these chicks like old dudes, but I gotta get myself a nicer vehicle. This thing's a piece of junk. I deliver food in this thing. And I stored it for like 10 years. So it's ancient. It's weird because I started it up. It started up on the first start. After I put some new fuel in it. But if I back up, oh no, there's cars all over there. Or I could park, but if the closer I park, the more obvious it is what I'm doing. And I don't want to have an argument with anybody. Or be told to turn it off. Oh, someone was right behind me now is getting out. Because then if I back up, you guys could have a better view. And then I could zoom in with the phone a little bit more on the subjects. I generally don't park right here, and now I know why. It's too close. The viewer gets a better idea what's going on when I'm parked a little further back. Maybe that girl didn't like the smell of smoke. But, because I am like, you got to be 20 feet away from a door, and I'm somewhere. And I've seen people, those guys are smoking, I think. Somebody looked like they're vaping. Yeah, one guy's smoking right there. I gotta remember to park a little further back. This is the only space. Oh, this dude's drinking his beer. I'm not gonna show you that. Guzzling it. It's a Saturday night. That's what people do. Oh, this one guy's taking his shirt off. They're kids. And it's still hot out, you know, but it's not 107. It said it was 91, but it felt 95 a few hours ago. Well, I don't know where all these people live. I don't live in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. But I don't really live like in a segregated neighborhood either. I mean, I guess at one time you could have said it was the town was like Greek, but they've left. So I don't know who. Now it's a mixture of what's left over from the Winter Olympics, which is a handful of a mixture of everybody. But at one time it was like 80% Mormons, blonde hair, blue-eyed Mormons. Now the Mormons aren't like the predominant group there. They still are in the state as a whole. But they opened up the door here, you know, as far as after the Olympics, everybody is welcome here, and they haven't left. And then a lot of commerce, a lot of work is accomplished having people from other countries do it for the Mormons, for the most part. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. But I don't see as pure Indians coming in here very often. I see mixed people that have Indian, Native American blood, but I don't, but I don't ask them. I used to think when I'd see Indian, Native Americans, I thought they were Mexicans years ago. I found out later, no, those are Native Americans. I think this place is open another like 2 hours. They're open late. I'm surprised the cops don't show up here, but the good thing is, I don't know, there's not a lot of trouble here.
Right.
For the most part. Other than her. She's drunk. Drunk and skinny.
I'm so hungry.
She's, I think, drunk. That's a guy, I forgot. He's drinking a beer in the parking lot. That's not a good idea. I gotta roll up the window a little. Oh, there she is, Ariel. Look at. Did you see that? She's wearing like a frickin'. What do you call it? A thong? We used to call thongs used to be what you wear on your feet. Now those are called flip-flops. She had a thong on. I captured it here, live, on Night Flight. I used to work at private clubs. The girls would come in sexy, but they weren't wearing thongs and shit. They'd have revealing, nice dresses, sexy dresses, revealing shirts, low, what do you call it? Bare midriffs, but 30 years ago, girls weren't wearing thongs and shit. Maybe underneath their, who knows what they're wearing underneath their clothing. unless you ventured. But they weren't like now. You can tell what a woman looks like basically naked. I saw a girl delivering food wearing yoga shorts, and boy, like went right up the crack of her butt. I mean, there was no. I don't know. I just think some women should dress up a little bit more, and so the guy can kind of anticipate maybe, so they don't get a good idea until they get naked or something. Because now it's like, I don't know. They don't leave any mystery, especially if they're wearing like a next to nothing, or like with the yoga pants. It's like you can tell the shape of the woman, or guy. I see guys in yoga pants too. That's always a hoot. You don't see any guys from Wyoming in yoga pants very often. I don't think any. There probably is some people here that eating here that have, more than 50% Native American blood, but I wouldn't know. I mean, who did I see? I don't know. Sound racist either way. If I say, oh yeah, I saw some Asians too, but they could have been Mexican Asians or Asian Mexican, or they looked Asian, but I'm not so sure. When they speak Spanish, and I'm going, well, there's some Hispanic, Mexican people that look a little Asian. They could have Asian blood. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see if there's people. Maybe if I back up, I think I got a spot. Oh, the sheriff is here. Look at this shit. But are they Spanish? Sure, they're on duty, I would say. Because, oh fuck. Let's back up, kids. I think they're coming to get food, though. It's not like they're not allowed in there. Oh, and some dude just took my spot. Damn it. And it's probably the sheriff. Coward of the county. No, but you can shove it right in there and tell them hello for me. And the sheriff didn't look like they got in line, did they? No. Okay, I can get that spot back, I think. Well, there's somebody just sitting there. I wanna get a better view of this myself. Without getting into a wreck here. They don't have this parking lot drawn out right. They probably did it themselves. Whoa, I am so close to this car. It's not even funny, I gotta pay more attention when I'm doing. Paying customers would rather have my spot. I don't think these people are going to be able to get in their cars very easy. Redwood City? How would I know where Redwood City is? Okay, now from here, you guys will get a better view, I'd think. It'd be a better view. I forgot to clean my window at work, my windshield. Oh, I didn't get time. The dude showed up too early to relieve me. But I'll do it in a few days.
And the sun was hidden by cloud mass. So obviously that's what happened.
If the window was cleaner, you guys could see. All those hot girls already left. Oh, no, there's plenty of spots there. It's not focusing as well as I'd like. I don't know. Show's pretty much over. Food's in my stomach. I've been to Tijuana once. Wasn't impressed. My dad ate tacos from a taco truck. Asked me if I want one. I looked at him like, No?
I would say I'm a little agnostic.
Because I wasn't sure what it was. And I'm not saying it was bad food. I just...
I'm not Catholic personally.
If I ever eat in Tijuana, it's going to be at a sit-down restaurant, perhaps. And I ain't drinking the tap water. Well, that's sad that, you know, on one side of the border, you can probably drink the tap water, and on the other side, you probably shouldn't. They got a big sewage problem on both sides, though. Stinks. I'm not interested in Tijuana, but these are good tacos. Then the sheriff, I'm thinking they're in there eating, but now I wonder if some people are getting a little nervous. Like this guy. Is that the, okay, that's another sheriff. He walked out, so maybe they put their order in, and then he doesn't even want to eat with them. Oh. Oh, he's hugging them. Oh, he knows one of the guys that works there. Oh, and they're speaking Spanish. Okay, it's one of their own. Good, it's cool then. I can't, they're talking loud. I had a feeling. Hey, Joseph. I had a feeling those cops walked in there, and the sheriff walked in there like he owned the place. Like, you know, like he knew somebody there. The guy on the right, it's like, sheriff. And they probably like good tacos. How about that? They don't want ice in there, I know that. And I bet some of these people are here illegally. Not all of them. I don't know what the percentage would be. They'd like to make us believe they're all illegal, but they're not. And a lot of these people work hard and don't have easy jobs. They're not here like soaking the government for help. I don't think, but who knows? Shit, I gotta clean that window. Almost looks like somebody puked on it. And I gotta quit holding this in my hand because it makes it obvious. I guess on this angle you can see the front door. If I went live with a new phone, it'd be probably, other than the windshield, it'd be a lot clearer. This phone, the reason I got the new phone is because this phone, the cameras are all screwed up. When I try to zoom in, sometimes it gets blurrier, which is disappointing. Did the other sheriff come out? Yeah, now both sheriffs are talking to the manager or whoever he is. Could be an owner, I don't know. You know, when you own a business like this, it's a good idea to have some connections in law enforcement. It really is. I was just eating. I was investigating a taco. And it was good. I spilled one of them, but sort of quickly rescued it. That's another reason. I'll probably go back to work in a couple of days. I know I got to work next week there. And get a nice soapy towel with hot water and clean the windows, clean the seat a little bit. I hope I didn't get grease on the seat. It's not that it'll never come out, but it'll be a bitch to clean it. Cloth seats. I should have they're all hugging. Seat covers. I should have put one a long time ago. Be nice to, I found a wrecked one of these cars and I should have asked them how much are the seats. But you know, I bet they'd want $100 or so. Which at some point it might be a good idea to change out the driver's seat. Oh, is that the chick who talked to me? No, this girl's a little bigger. It might be. She's telling me, talking to me about smoking. And I have outlived her father. This is like the only place was good. I mean, there's a couple other Mexican places that are open 24 hours. This isn't a 24-hour, but they're not really good food. I delivered to somebody from Beto's and Rancherito, and then I made like 35. This was after work. Made 35 bucks, paid for my fuel. I probably should make one more delivery, but it's getting late. I don't need to. What I need to do is pay attention to my phone more often, and when these people at work are going, "Can you come in and work for me?" Because at least tonight when I clocked in, there was no downtime. I was making money till I clocked out. And then I got lucky after work to make, one delivery, make 35 bucks for a half an hour's time. So that was nice. Well, they started up their car without being in it. I guess I could have got that in with the Dodge. I didn't want remote start. I don't know what the point of it is, other than the winter time. It's nice to get the car warm before you get it. Gatlinburg has a lot of Russian and Jamaican workers. Yeah, here, even Snowbird now. They'll get people from Jamaica. A lot of people from Jamaica, like hundreds. I had to shuttle some of them to their homes or their apartments that I think Snowbird was paying for. They stayed at this hotel I was working at, and I was the shuttle driver and took a lot of them to their new homes. And here, I mean, years ago, you'd go out to, there's a place called Wendover. It's like, I think another name for it, the gunnery range is near there. They blow up a lot of shit out in the desert here. And then there's a little place you can gamble called Wendover. It's really, it wouldn't even be there. And it's Nevada. It's like Utah and Nevada border, but the gambling part's in Nevada. And the town wouldn't even exist other than for truck stops and the government and the casinos. But even 20, 30 years ago, you go in there, it was run pretty much by Mexicans that didn't speak English, and they'd, make whatever good money there. And maybe they're making 20 bucks an hour and then sending a lot of it home. And say 30 years ago or whatever, some of those people have already moved back they've already bought a home in Mexico and moved back there on their wages. Because they'd send their families, they'd Western Union it, in the days when that was the only way to get it. That, and there's all sorts of Mexican named money transfer play. And then now you can even transfer through crypto. In seconds. You don't even have to go through Western Union. You can actually transfer crypto, but you better cash it right after the transfer. Probably could transfer it to a Mexican bank, whatever, or somebody's wallet, electronic wallet. Oh, those cops are just standing out there now, waiting for they kind of remind me of me. I wait for my food and then I go eat it in the car. I won't eat in there because it's too loud. Way too loud. If they had some outdoor seating, they have some at the other place. And, if it's not busy, I'll sit down. Like, I rarely eat there in the afternoon, but when I have, and it's not 107, I'll sit outside. I just don't anywhere that I go now, I just don't like being around a lot of people. A little bit's fine. But on a hot day or whatever, night, I don't even really want to be around a lot of people and sweating or whatever. There was a lot of eye candy in there. Some of the girls that came in there were, not all of them were. I shouldn't say that. There were several actually very attractive women came in. Not all of them. And then there was a dude that looked like the Night Stalker. I think him and his boyfriend. Oh, there she is. I'm going to call her Ariel. I think that's her. They're still bopping around there. She's wearing like a thong. Like guess you call it. See the crack of her ass. God, I wonder what my friends, like when we were 12, 13 years old, if we had seen girls with thongs. I mean, it was hard enough being 13 and then having girls shaking their ass with a thong on. I remember when I was in Hawaii and the lady was older than me, but she was like about 35, had kids, and she's just strolling down the beach in a thong. And I just kind of, did I? I don't think I gawked at her. I looked at her. And then I accepted that that's just, how things have evolved. I guess I remember when a bikini was a big deal. I remember when a mini skirt was sort of a big deal. Now those are not big deals anymore. So it'll be nice to go to anywhere along the coast, hang out at the beach, and see even that girl in a thong. It's the guys in thongs that I'm not going to be thrilled to see. And I think I would have been fine in Europe where women walked around topless on the beach. Get used to that after a while, but maybe there's some women you don't want to see. The cop now was looking at me. He's live streaming, Holmes. My phone's too big. It's so obvious. I have a little Sony that if I could find some sort of... Well, I've got a gimbal, I guess, for it, but if I could strap it somehow to the car, people would be just... it's small. It's like a little camcorder. But the thing is, you can only... Like this thing, I'm continuously live because I'm on YouTube. On the Sony, I don't know if I could use it. I don't know what you'd call it, like a slave or whatever. It fills up a... I won't say HD, but a memory card, and when it's full, the video's over. So it's almost like I don't know that, if I can go live with the Sony, I just don't know how to do it. I think when I connect it to my phone, link it with my phone, I can control it. I don't know, I need to use it more. I took it to a bar one time, they were cool with it, and I recorded a band, and then I uploaded it to Facebook, and then they uploaded it to their Facebook page. So they were happy that I captured some of their songs, and nobody said a effing thing. It was one of those nights that people weren't all uptight about shit, and they probably thought I was with the band or something. I mean, I had their permission, basically. And, I wasn't being in people's faces with it. And it was small, though. There might have been some people that had no freaking clue that I was live. Well, I wasn't live. I was just recording. And then I uploaded it to Facebook. I hope these people can get into their vehicles. Do you need me to move a little bit so you can get in?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yummy.
Yeah, it was too close. And I got a tiny car. They parked all fucked up. I wonder if I should just go. So I'm done with work. The cowboy people. This is a Western store over here. Oh, and there's so it's Salt Lake County Sheriff. I think we're in Salt Lake County. Two of them? Yeah. They both have a card. I think Corey Drake is on this one, or I don't know. I think I know the owner of this place. Or another one. If this is McAllister's, I think that's the one. Now I'm trapped in here. Damn it. That chick told me, yeah. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen the cops here. Let's see what my battery level's at. I think it's bad, yes. Well, I just don't want to make it obvious that I'm live here. So I prefer to just be in parking lots at work or wherever, somewhere where people don't care. I had some girl mad at me once, screaming at me, and I was ignoring her. I didn't know she was screaming at me. And then she came by and apologized. It was in the rain. But I need a holder, because if this isn't a holder, it just works better. It doesn't look like I'm being creepy. And it's not, it focuses better when the windshield's clean. And I got Windex in here. I just don't know if I've got, I don't know if I have paper towels. I don't feel like cleaning the wind. I worked, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours today, and I'm tired. I just wanted to get something to eat, and then I'm going, I guess I'm gonna go home. Did it zoom in? I don't know what to see. Trip pants are becoming pop. I don't know what trip pants are. I know what, God, what are they called? It was a fad that didn't last very long in the mid-'80s. Parachute pants. Boy, if God, to be in a fire or something with parachute pants on. Because they're basically nylon, or I wouldn't say they're plastic, but they would melt. And I still have some somewhere that I hardly ever wore. I should eBay them. $50. eBay. So, vintage, original. And I wonder if parachute pants were something like based on something like the Air Force guys, sort people that were in the Air Force would wear on a plane. I mean, I almost call them cargo pants, but we called them whatever I just said. I remember my girlfriend would wear them. I would wear them. It was kind of stupid. After we broke up, I never wore those fucking parachute pants ever again. I think it's because of the material, and the material wasn't parachute material, but it was similar. They had like a lot of zippers, and you had to be, well, most of the people that wore them were skinny as heck. That's probably one of the owners or the manager. He was talking to the sheriffs. He was hugging the sheriff. So they're bros. I guess he's just lording over. He's probably taking a break. Oh, they close in an hour. I guess it is kind of clearing out in there. It doesn't look as bright in there. There's people just sitting in the parking lot. Oh, and the people with the beer left just before the cops came. Ooh, there's somebody flying down the road. Wonder if those sheriffs already left. Could have been the sheriff, I don't know. Sound like a motorcycle. Yeah, I don't know what, like, I'd have to Google on the other. Where is my lion girlfriend, AI girlfriend? I know I saw some kid that his pants were dragging on the ground. I could see him tripping over that. What are trip pants? Parents. I didn't say parents.
Trip parents, like...
What are trip pants?
Trip pants are iconic alternative streetwear, known for their punk and goth style.
featuring metal hardware, straps, and baggy legs, often with tartan prints. They originated in New York's punk scene and remain popular in alternative fashion today.
I know what tartan is. I'm not a big fan of tartan. Oh my God. That was something I would never wear, ever. Unless I had a girlfriend that made me wear them. Maybe those. That's too much. Parachute pants were gay enough. Let's see. Show me some parachute pants.
Parachute pants are a trendy, lightweight, and baggy style, often made from nylon or cotton. They usually have elastic or drawstring waists and...
No, they've changed. They weren't drawstring when I was a kid, and they weren't baggy at all. I mean, I guess... No, they were tight. Oh, and they weren't like that. Yeah, I don't know. They evolved into shit like that. I never wore anything like that. That was a little too gay. You'd have to have some big balls to pull that one off. What did 80s parachute pants look like?
80s parachute pants were distinctive, featuring shiny, thin, synthetic material in a tapered shape. They also had a lot of hardware, and many people remember them making a loud swishing sound when you walked.
Oh yeah, they did. And I have some white ones like that somewhere. I haven't turned yellow. I probably have some gray, probably some blue. You know, they had a lot of zippers, but kind of reminds me of like, well, Devo, I guess, at least on one tour or something like that. But I don't know if she's got it right. It was like that. I used to wear, me and my girlfriend would wear white parachute pants. And they were cheap, you know. I'd say they were like $10, 20, no more than 20 bucks, like $19.95. But not all of them are the same style that I remember. And then I didn't get into anything fancy like that, colors. God, that's ugly. And then those look actually comfortable. But I wouldn't call those parachute pants, but they will. Oh, the sheriff's still here. So, they don't care when people fly by at 100 miles an hour. Oh, and they got a bag, so I bet they get their food here for free. In Utah, bribes aren't illegal. In California, boy, I was going to give this cop some free batteries. He was getting some batteries for something, and boy, he got mad at me. And I was just being friendly, because I was going to give him, like, either free or give him the employee discount. He's like, no. He was like, acting like he could lose his job. Here, they get shit for free. All they get. When they walk into a 7-Eleven, do you think they pay for coffee and drinks? No. It's always, thank you, or whatever. In California, theoretically, I guess you could perhaps lose your job. But I don't know. It's weird. I didn't even realize how unions had, because we're not a union state here. Unions have all sorts of bizarre rules and policies and stuff where 4 o'clock they can't work, and if they do, I don't know, it can start fights and stuff, and people start calling them scabs and whatever. I got a union guy to help me out with something after work, and he parked his plumbing truck in front of the house, and boy, every fucking union person who came up that street screamed something at him out their window. And he took it. He was pretty young, and he took it pretty well. And it wasn't illegal him parking out there, but they could see he was helping me with something. We're changing out valves at the house, and God, he did it for next to nothing. I just paid for the parts. So I got lucky. And I wanted to keep that house, too. We had a problem with something called water hammer. He fixed that by just throttling back there was something he showed me how you could increase the pressure or decrease it in those particular style houses from the garage. It was a little bell-shaped thing, and he just adjusted it. Boy, my mom was mad, and I'm like, well, he got rid of the water hammer without having to go under the house and strap the pipe that was rattling, or like a strap had come loose or something. He just decided, he's like, well, just turn down the water pressure. Boy, she was pissed. And you know what? It actually helped. I mean, years later, she wasn't yelling or mad about it. I was trying to tell her, I just got like $500 worth of plumbing work done here for next to nothing, and I paid for it. You know, I paid for all the parts, and I was just tired of hearing the pipes hammering. You know, they're slapping against a 2x4 or other pipes. It was noisy. Every time you took a shower, you'd hear what he was calling water hammer, and it took him all but 5 minutes to figure that one out. And then while we were there, he had some valves in the car, in the van, the plumbing van, and we switched them out really quick to these quick shutoffs, because he was looking at our shutoffs and going, this will take you forever in an emergency to shut down the water. So we put ball valves, which are probably still on that house, even, shit, what would it be now, 40 years later? Because he said they'd last for sure 30 years or more. Yeah, nice. You gotta keep it on the down low. He's got a hot girlfriend. She has a hot, I didn't see her face. Boy, hourglass figure on that girl. Oh, there used to be this, that reminds me, there used to be, one of my friends took me to a water slide place in Ogden, and we weren't going water sliding. We were like out of high school then, but he knew this, I guess, from high school. We sat in the parking lot watching all the girls go down this major slide, and out of every like 10 girls, at least one girl, their top would fly off. It was funny. We didn't stay there all day. We were there for, I don't know, maybe close to an hour. We didn't have smartphones in those days. We didn't have a camera. We didn't have a Polaroid or anything. And then a lot of the girls would just cross their arms and cover their boobs. Like, this girl has a hell of a body on her. I just don't want to I don't want to get in a fight or an argument with her boyfriend. Not worth for that. I didn't mean to zoom in. I need to go home soon. It's stayed out later than I was tired when I got off work. My phone's gonna fall. Oh, and here they come back. Oh, the place is open, so I don't know why they didn't go in. Don't know why. I don't think they're kicking everybody out. You know, sometimes, I know, half an hour before they close, they start cleaning. The other one, it's like 11:30, they're already stopped. You can order stuff up till 11:30 at the other place, but then after that, they're done. I'm trying to find my other phone. Find out what, it's on my leg. Let's see. Yeah, right now would be like, if somebody walks in, they probably still could get food, but, you know, maybe they're closing a little early. I'll have to remember to either get here a lot earlier or get here a lot later. Just at this point, when they're cleaning the grill, I don't necessarily want to order anything. I don't want cleaning chemicals in my food. I think if anything, they still make food because they take it off the grill and they, instead of storing it, they just keep, somebody comes in, you just don't get stuff made to order. It's like already been made practically, or, you know, they take it out of a container and make whatever it is. I don't know. I could see years ago if I would have hung out here getting in a little bit of trouble here. And especially, I don't think any of these guys would want me years ago flirting with their girlfriends and all, or their sister or whatever, their moms. But someday when I get back to Mexico, I don't know. I'm sure I'll find friends there, just put it that way. I gotta be a little more friendly myself, too. I think if I own a small business, like a gift shop, or, I don't know, a marijuana distribution center, I'll sell little containers to put your weed in, or something. Make little boxes to put your weed in, or something. I could see something that's easy and simple, and something that if I get bored or whatever, I can just say, okay, I'm going home, and nobody would freak. Nothing like, oh, this guy's dressed up like a baseball player. Probably is a baseball player. I don't know, find something. You know, it'd be cool to have a commercial property and live like behind it, and then maybe, I don't know, and then maybe rent it out to somebody who is a successful business person that I get along with, and then just live in the back, and then use that rent money for whatever, survival. And I wouldn't mind something that's related to, like, 6 months out of the year, like the cooler months and winter months. A lot of people come down from Canada and northern parts of the United States to, and these are retired people. I think I'd heard this term snowbird, and not the snowbird, the ski resort here, but a snowbird, that they don't like the winters. They're pretty much semi-retired or whatever, or they have money to get out of Toronto or wherever, Calgary, or the Labrador, and they go spend half the year or a couple of months of the year. You know, you can stay 180 days without residency. So they stay 3 months generally, and then they leave. And that'd probably be, I don't know, maybe that time of the year I'd probably hate all the people going, it's all tourists. But make something of it, you know. Even if it's something where I gotta hire people to do whatever it is, because I'm so old I don't want to do it. But be somewhere where things are going on. I don't want to sit home and watch fucking TV. Or just stare at the whatever. There's only so much yard work and you can do till you got to go into town, get some food, check out the senoritas. Oh, I think the sheriff finally left. They were eating in their car too. On taxpayers' money. But something, you know? And then, you know, the festivals, and, you know, maybe it's every month or so, or at least a couple times a year. It's more than just Christmas. They have the Day of the Dead. They have certain, who knows, you know, holidays, like where they have floats and stuff. And, you know, maybe I don't want to be in the crowd, but I'll be out watching from a balcony and drinking a beer or who knows what. And then, you know, during festivals and stuff, they probably have really good food. Get some good food. What the hell is this thing? Lyft, taxi, something family LLC. Interesting. It's a truck though, isn't it? Or no, that could be an SUV. Let me turn on my lights. How about that? I don't want them to move though. Oh yeah, it's like a Escalade or something. It looked more like a truck with a topper on it, but no, it's like an Escalade or something. Or some, it could be something custom, who knows. I know at some point when they close, excuse me, the employees, boyfriends and wives and shit come and pick them up. These people work their ass off. So I can imagine some of them that get off at 4, they've been working since 7 or 8 in the evening, and it's busy there. I wouldn't want to work there now. Years ago, I think it would have been fun. Kind of fun. I used to work at private clubs. That was fun. Because, you know, it was some work, but it was a lot of standing, but it was basically IDing people, charging them to come in, selling stuff. I wasn't a bar. I mean, I guess I was a bartender for a short time at one of them. Didn't work out. I mean, I should have gone to school for bartending, and then some of the bartenders were making bank as far as tips, and I don't think a lot of these guys were claiming their tips either. A lot of it was, I don't know if you call it under the table. It's something like that. I know this one guy who said he was making $3,000 a week or something like that, and tips alone. So I don't think the business was paying him that much. He was like living off of tips, but he had to pay the barbacks though too. So I don't know that that was his take-home pay. And he drove a really shitty, well, not a shitty, but a real basic like Toyota truck. No wonder what happened to him. He was a lot older than me at the time. He's got to be an old man now. He's still around. I never did bump into him years. Oh, it's funny because my boss is still around. Speaking of Snowbird, he has a private club up in Snowbird. That dude must be. I should have asked the guy that said he's up in Snowbird now. How old is the fucker now? Gotta be 80s. Is that late 70s, early 80s maybe? See, when I was 21, 30, yeah, he was probably in his 40s when I was working for him. He was connected. They were selling coke and shit. I don't know if he had to do that. Like when I was working for him, I don't know if he was still doing that, but I'd heard in the past he'd made a lot of money dealing drugs, coke, which is a drug, out of his couple of bars, or that's how he afforded that's how he bought all the other places. So it was through, and he knew a lot of people too. So he kept all the wheels greased, all the cogs. And he was connected with New Skin too. I shouldn't say it. Some of them were. Come on, in daytime they're pushing health products and facial products, and nighttime they were lining up the rails. One of them, she died. Half of the I don't know, the brother was involved in drugs, but you know, I didn't know him, so I don't know, but he knew what was going on, I'm sure. And his sister died a while ago, and then her adopted daughter, died recently. Was murdered. I don't know, they just had some bad luck. And she was, you know, ultra wealthy. I don't think she was a billionaire, but she had a lot of money. Well, she could have. I don't want to Google it right now, but I assume she had, you know, $100 million or more dollars, her business. I don't know what the business is worth. It's worth a lot, and I guess it's all her brothers now since she's dead, and her daughter's dead. And she had homes, you know, everywhere. I don't know why she hung out in Utah, other than the business was, I think, out of Provo or something. And it was sort of like, what would you call it? What's the other? Not Herbalife, Amway type. It wasn't it was like multi-level marketing with skincare. And then when I wouldn't sell it for them, I lost my job soon after that. I wasn't going along with their little program, but it was fun while it lasted. And before they tried to get me all caught up in their little scheme. Because they gave me I don't know what you call a starter pack or whatever. I think I kept it. But I was supposed to sell it all. And I'm like, I can't sell skin products. I'm a 21-year-old retard. None of my friends were putting placental extract on their face. Guess they're expecting me to get my girlfriends all caked up on it. Fucking whatever. Powdered. Now if they would have tried to get me to sell some cocaine, I was like, give me a truckload full, Betty. Oh, there's this guy, this chauffeur went down for, it was funny because it's the guy who was sitting in the back of the limo, it's coke. He let his chauffeur go down holding all that when the cops busted him. I don't think he spent a day in jail, but the chauffeur went to prison. They were offering me that job. I'm like, thank God. And after hearing about that, I did have a chauffeur job for a short time. I gave it to one of my friends. He said he had the time of his life. And he didn't wind up, in any trouble. And I went to Hawaii for a couple months, and he was doing that for, I don't know, 6 months or whatever, until I think the dude worked for, what was it, 3M or something like that? No, DuPont. And then at nighttime, they just like to spend money, snort coke, get laid, drink. And in the daytime, they were selling chemicals, I guess. I don't know. But, it comes to an end when you're up to sort of like, no, because I think they were swinging too, or weird shit. Orgies and stuff. Some of these Mormons, you'd be surprised what they do at night. Because, come on, if you have 2 or 3 wives, I'm not saying they all get into bed together, but what's stopping them from not doing that? If God tells them it's okay, they'll go along with it. So, some pretty kinky shit. I mean, I'd heard of stuff. I didn't really see a lot. I've seen some weird shit, but I generally would try to avoid that kind of scene. I've been invited to some weird fucking parties. I'm like, nah. The good news is most times, it wasn't like I used my girlfriend as an excuse, but she didn't want me going. She didn't want to go, and I didn't want to go. So it's like having a steady girlfriend kept me from hanging out with some of these weird freaks. But they were like, oh, bring her along. We'll pull a train on all of you. So I found out here is no different than back home, because I was trying to run away from, or at least disappear from, certain situations back home, and I found out here was, I wouldn't say it was worse. It just, you could find the same trouble. How about that? Like, if you looked for it, you could find it. I was shocked at some of these private clubs. So these older men, be like, oh, we're having a party up at Gail's house. We'd like you to come. I'm like, yeah, sure, I know you want me to come. And I'd go home. I'd be at the end of my day, end of my shift, get my money, and drive home. Maybe have one drink. So we'd get a free drink, sometimes more, but not much more. And I'd go home. I had school like the next day, or unless it was Saturday night. I don't know that I worked weekends all that often. I worked during the week, during the school week, and I usually had school the next day. It's that or the girlfriend. I had fun at these clubs working the club. And I wasn't much of a dancer either, 'cause some of them were dance clubs. So it was, cool. It was like I'd be at the hottest nightclub in town that's not downtown, but I worked some of the downtown venues too. And it was just something to do. My parents were like, what, is this gonna be your career? I'm like, no, this is how I make money. And some of them I'd go home, a couple $100 in tips. commissions, what they called it, because I'd make a every time I'd sell a ticket or a membership, I got $5. And when a place is brand new and 100 people come in, that's $500. But we had to, generally wasn't the only one working the front desk. So sometimes we'd split $500, $600 between 3 people, and we were all happy, and we went home happy, and we didn't have to go hang out with polygamous Mormons, or if we wanted Coke, we could buy our own Coke, or whatever. I generally had homework to do and school to go to the next day. Sometimes I'd do my homework early, like before the club opened, and I got in a little trouble doing that, but I told the boss, that was probably another reason I quit, or no, one of them I got fired. And I told the person who hired me, when we're slow, I'm going to be reading my books. It wasn't a secret. And then the owner saw me doing that one day on a Tuesday night, boring night, and he got upset. And I told him my schooling is more important than this job. He didn't like that. I was being honest. I should have bullshitted him to death and said, "Oh, Bill, I want to sell your cocaine, sir." His girlfriend was like an ex-Playboy bunny, and she looked like it, but she was a bitch. I don't like necessarily using that word, but she was a bitch. Oh, and then we'd have like little employee discounts on stuff like food. I finally got the dude at the snack bar, or whatever you'd call it. It's like a very small restaurant where you can get sandwiches and hors d'oeuvres and shit. I got him all pissed off because that's the first thing I'd do when I get to work. I'd order like the biggest sandwich ever, and the employee discount was like half price or something. He'd get so pissed at me saying, "You know what, I lose money on this." And things started falling apart because I wasn't part of the team. I wasn't Mormon. I was not selling, I wasn't new skin with them. I wasn't snorting their coke, selling their coke. And I'm still conversational with a few of those people. Because there was DJs that would come in, radio personalities and stuff, and I still occasionally bump into these people or talk to them sometimes on Facebook. And generally we're talking about, "Oh yeah, so-and-so died, so-and-so OD'd." And it's funny, all those people in that era seem to have the coke problem. That was the common thread, coke. This other guy, I think they said I can't remember if he killed himself or he OD'd on coke. Cannot remember. I'd have to look at my DMs and go, "Yep, Eric died of an overdose." Dude was on steroids, dating the woman that owned New Skin, but she was dating a lot of guys. She didn't have like just one boyfriend. She had several, and it's funny. There's a woman doing that. I don't know. It wasn't like guys were fighting over her. And this other guy, he said he dated her. He lived with her for a while. Like, that was Eric's girlfriend, and he's living. Like, you guys are fucking weird. Because I was never interested in any girls that. I mean, if any of my girlfriends had more than one boyfriend, I didn't know about it. Maybe when we broke up and they had a new boyfriend, I knew about that. But if I knew a girl I was serious with had another boyfriend, that was the end of the relationship, really. Like my girlfriend from high school, she said she married her coke dealer, and I should ask her, who in the hell was your coke dealer? Because I didn't know she had a coke dealer. I remember one time at a party, one of her friends came up to me and said I owed them $1,000 for all the coke she snorted. And I'm like, "No, I don't." That's when I knew I had a problem. That was a couple months before we broke up anyhow, and I was like, I ain't paying her coke bill. So it followed me from California to here because of some of the, well, it was an epidemic everywhere, especially on the West Coast, and it slowly filtered over to here. Because I think it was in the 70s. You know, I don't know about the 60s, but late 70s into the 80s. By the time here it was mid 80s, it started, you know, at least in Salt Lake. We lived in a little town, so, but then I moved down to here, and I noticed they were having similar problems. Oh. I assume, you know, even New York, where I've never been there, Studio 54, I don't even know what years that was. I think it was late 70s. They were already having problems. They were, and I could be wrong, but they were smuggling coke from Colombia up through Honduras and then over to like Florida, and it'd come up the coast that way, I guess. You know, it really didn't matter. I've heard of shit. They're smuggling coke during the Clinton era into Little Rock. You know, just flying it in. I've known a lot of people that had problems with cocaine. I guess you can still get it now, but God, you got to be careful that it doesn't have fentanyl and God knows what. You could find good coke in Utah, but you had to be careful who you got it from, I guess. It seems like places like Park City and places like around Salt Lake City, perhaps you could find better quality. When you get into the small towns, unless you knew that the person who the person was getting it from, you're getting whatever. You know, there'd be crank in there, which I didn't know crank was basically, I think amphetamines. Maybe not methamphetamines, but basically similar. Somehow managed to avoid that whole mess. But I know people that got into crack cocaine when this is now into the 90s. I'd go back home, and I wouldn't say they were my friends, but people I knew were now smoking coke, or no, smoking crack. And that was I know just before I left the last final time, there was just people I knew that were starting to do crack, and they were like people in my neighborhood. So you could go up. I don't know. When I was still in my 20s, I'd ride my motorcycle around. I'd stop at little parks, have a beer or something. Sometimes they'd be at the park, you know, smoking their crack cocaine. I'm like, really? And some of them graduated on to going to San Quentin, Santa Rita prison, whatever. This one kid, he never told me he'd been to San Quentin, but I read some public documents. I'm like, holy shit, he'd been to San Quentin. I noticed he'd bulked up a lot. He was like a little pussy when we were in high school. And then once he went to San Quentin, I guess he pumped iron so he didn't get his ass kicked every day. And the last time I saw him, I'm like, holy shit, the dude's big now. I wouldn't be surprised he was on steroids too. But his life's a fucking mess. I mean, if I saw him now, I'd probably go, fuck, he looks like he's like he's on death's door or something. You know, because they partied all through the late 70s, early 80s, into the 90s, prison into the 2000s. Probably get out of prison, relapse. And a lot of these people look hammered, you know, just completely hammered. Some of them that I've seen, you know, whether it's on their Facebook page or if they're still alive. And I know of other people that they died in the 90s, 80s, 90s. They just did too much. Another guy I know I don't dare ask his sister, like, what happened to him. I figure it's either OD'd or took his own life. And I saw him just, I don't know how many years before he died, but 5 years before. He looked bad. His lips still, he'd do so much coke, his lips would turn purple, and then he'd smoke weed and his eyes would get all red, and he'd just start looking like a demon. You could tell when he was high. And it's just sad. And then his brother dies like 2 years after he dies, and I don't know, I didn't want to dare ask, did he drink himself to death or OD off something? And these are people that, came from, I'd say, good families, but they got caught up in drugs and alcoholism and shit, which, alcohol, at least you can get that. And as long as you don't drink and drive or beat up people, you can sort of keep that on the down low, but it can kill you, you drink enough of it. You turn it into a daily habit. And I guess I've always been trying to run from those people. And sometimes it was neighbors, and I didn't hang out with my neighbors all the time, but the neighbor kids, people I'd gone to school with. I wouldn't say any of them really, maybe there was one friend, but he's cleaned himself up, but he seems like, I don't know, changed over all that stuff. Like, not all there, really. Did some hard partying in his teens, and I guess when he got married young and had kids really early, that straightened him up. But by then, maybe some of the damage had already been done. When every Friday, Saturday night, you're drinking till you puke, and you're 13, there's got to be some impact on that. I'd like to have a beer or two. I couldn't go home drunk, or my mom would have flipped. She would have smelled it. She was going, you're drunk. You're 12 years old, and you're 13 years old, and you're drunk. I'd drink a beer or something and then try to sober up before I get home. And I had friends that would just keep drinking until they puked. And sometimes they'd puke, and they'd, recover and then start drinking some more. And I loosely say friends, because when I moved, it wasn't like I kept in contact with them. They were more like neighbor kids that we would all sometimes hang out at this park. Not just one park, but primarily one that was close in the neighborhood. And the cops would show up and sort of try to put it on the down low. Here, it was the same thing, but here, people didn't hang out at parks. What was successful here is they would rent venues. They'd get an adult to generally rent it. Sometimes the cops would show up, but a lot of times it'd be on private property where an adult or somebody would say, well, you're going to have a warrant to come in. So they were, I think they did it a little smarter here in a way. But the drug problem wasn't as prevalent here, in my opinion. I mean, they were smoking weed and drinking, but come on, if there was any coke or, God, I don't think I ever saw crack cocaine here, or people doing it. But that wasn't like, the parties here were more like sex, drugs, rock and roll type things. And I'd like to say it was all innocent, but sometimes people get into a wreck and die, drunk. It just wasn't, the normal thing. I saw a lot of people go down back home, and I saw some here too, so I was always trying to avoid getting caught up in that, because I know enough people that are left the planet a long time ago for just having a little too much fun, perhaps. Not knowing when to chill out. Not knowing when the party's over. Like, for some people, the party never ended, and I didn't know anyone that's still, functioning. Oh, the other phone needs to be plugged in. I know you're enjoying the lovers, but I have to end that. Shit. They probably got in there just the right time to get some food. And what time is it? It's gotta be 4. Oh, they've quit. The food's over thing, but they'll be closed here now. It's weird because they should really turn the close sign off because you can't walk in there now and get any food. Rolling Stoned 503 subscribe to your channel. Cool. I missed you. If you said anything I missed, let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Thanks for subbing. Message deleted. Oh, I remember that one. I don't know. I'm half asleep right now. I gotta just make it home. And I know you guys would love to see this girl right now, but I'm not ready to get in any arguments with their boyfriends. Now I can put it back up, yes. It doesn't balance very well when it's... Oh, the other one's now plugged in. The girls had to sit in the back. So I guess there became a time where I wasn't hanging out with any of my guy friends much anymore. I moved too many times, I guess, too. I kept in contact with some of them, but now that they're old, they don't want to go get a taco or go have several beers. Oh God, maybe that is the one I saw last week. Holy shit. I don't know if they're going in. Yeah, it's that time of the year where the cute girls are just wearing real nice shit. I had a girlfriend that used to wear, I should show you what I'm talking about. And I got a friend that I think his hair's real or he's wearing a wig. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta see this chick. She is the rockin' I don't know, I guess I've always liked skinny Barbie type girls like her. I didn't see her face, but it really wouldn't matter. They ain't getting any food unless they know someone that works there. I know that. And I've done it too, where I've come in after they're cleaning the grills and the tables are clean. They don't, you can get a drink, you can get maybe some ice cream. And then if they had any food for these people, it'd be, I wouldn't call them leftovers, but it's not anything that's been cooked in the last half hour. It's in a container. They could perhaps make some sort of quesadilla or something. Or maybe they could make a taco for them, but it's not going to be fresh grilled. Yeah, it sucks getting old. Because I ain't going to find any girlfriends. People say, you're a pervert. Any girlfriends that look like that. I probably could get a girlfriend that looked like that when she was younger. And occasionally I see older women that are really attractive. This lady I worked with for about 3 or 4 years that just finally retired. There was actually 2, but this other one. And man, if she wasn't having so much trouble with her kids, I just don't. And then she's a grandma now. And I don't think she's gonna have trouble with the grandkids. But one of her kids is like Rob Reiner's son. And last thing I want to be in a relationship where the son's trying to kill the mom or something, or me. I don't need that shit. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. But I like her. When she texts me, I text back, and she keeps saying she's gonna we're gonna run away to Mexico, and like, that'd be funny if we did. I think she is about, not 10 years, 8 years younger than me, but I thought she was my age, and I found out later, she finally told me how old she was. I'm like, oh. And I gotta be careful, because I don't want to say, oh, I thought you were a lot older. So, no, you look 30. It's got the ex-husband. Who knows? Thank God she hasn't told me that story, but she told me more about her son, and I was like, oh, fuck. I like her a lot, but not so much that I don't know. I don't want that drama. He's in a mental hospital right now, but he'll be out as soon as they get his meds all straightened out. And I don't know. It's like some of my girlfriends did. I didn't know what baggage meant, but some of them had some The one that had the teenage kids, well, at least we got them through high school. One of them's married. That's 5 kids, 6. The other one's smart and hasn't got married, may never get married. But I didn't, when she came back and she'd been married and divorced, and she tried to rekindle the relationship with me, but by then she had grandkids and the family was bigger, and it was just, I don't know, it was bad enough raising their kids. There was, a lot of drama. But then with grandkids, whatever, I don't know. There wasn't any separation. There wasn't any time. Yet, it's like she'd wait till the kids go to bed, and then that was her time for herself. And sometimes it was only a few minutes or an hour, and poof, the day's over. If there'd been a separation, like as far as the kids go to bed at 8 o'clock, and we knew from 8 o'clock on we could maybe watch some TV. I guess we probably all have to have dinner, but it was just I don't know. I didn't have a big family. I don't mind being around a lot of people for a little while, but there's some points I don't want to be around a lot of people 24/7. And it was weird. She had this house in southern Utah that every room had a camera in it. I'm like, really? And I'm not sure her bedroom had one, but the house was wired, like the hallway and whatever. I can see having cameras outside of your house, but when you have cameras inside your house, that's a little too much for me. That's a little too much. I could see where, and I don't know, if it's hooked up to the internet, it's not private. I hate to tell anyone, it's not private. Anyone could hack into it. And then they're watching you or talking to your kids or whatever, or live streaming your private circuit TV or whatever you'd call it. And I just thought that was weird. She had changed. And she always had just too many friends around too. Friends, hanger-oners. That she'd be friends with somebody for a couple of years, and then they'd get in an argument over something, and then now we're not friends anymore. Bullshit like that. So I probably want someone that's a little, semi-retired, more balanced, not, I don't care if they have grandkids and kids. Just those kids got to have their own place. And the grandkids only visit, every once in a while. It's not an every fucking day thing where we're basically babysitting the grandkids so the kids can go out and party their asses off, go to concerts, go dancing all night. And I'm not saying that their daughters did that, but they did. We're doing a little bit of that. And she liked babysitting their grandkids, fine. But she doesn't. I didn't want to tell her to her face, you don't have time for a boyfriend. And it's funny. I think she just got married again for what, the third? No, she had one husband that died, made her a widow. Oh, there's the first one that she had the kids with. They got divorced. Second one, the guy got in a truck wreck or some logging accident, died. Third one was a polygamous trucker. And I was in between the widow, husband, and then after we broke up, she married a polygamist. It's funny because she said she'd never get involved with a polygamist, and she did. But he was from a polygamous family. He wasn't a practicing, but close enough. He left her the house, and she had a nice house, and she sold it, wound up now in Missouri with the next husband who she just divorced, and now she's either engaged or what. I'm just like, fuck. And then when she DMs me and says, "Oh, I miss you," I'm like, well, last time I wasn't very polite with her, but I tried to be. But I don't think I'm going to hear from her now. I don't know, it wouldn't shock me, but I ain't moving to Missouri. And boy, she looks like, I wanted to ask her, and how do you ask someone without pissing them off? Like, what happened to you? Because I'm just going, damn, she looked like she aged 20 years, and I've seen her like 5 years ago. She still looked okay. I almost wanted to ask her, like, have you been doing drugs or something? Laying out in the sun a lot? So when I was dating her, she was 35 years old. She was in the probably best shape of her life. I don't know that she had just gotten out of the military, but she had been in the military for a while. Good shape. But now I look at her and go, ah. Another one of my friends goes, "Oh, you dodged a bullet." I guess, and he was talking about some other girlfriend. I go, I guess I did. I'm not ready to date an old lady, or even if someone's older but they don't act like an old lady and they don't look like an old lady. But someday I'll probably be with them. When I'm an old man, I'll be with some old lady. Hopefully happy. And I guess, but in the back of my mind will be like, who's gonna outlive whom? My uncle got married in his late 50s, early 60s. Happily married, finally. She stayed with him to the day he died. And they had, I don't know, 25 years together, something like that. So he would be in his 90s. Maybe I'll get lucky like that. That would be a fitting end of a decent, stable relationship, which I haven't had any real stable ones. The last one for 8 years, that was long, but after COVID, it wasn't stable. It was freaky, and I just didn't like her family. All of a sudden, after 5 years, I couldn't stand her family anymore. None of them, really. None of them. And I just knew, at some point it'd be over. It lasted 8 years. 5 years of it was pretty good. The last 3 sucked. And that was pretty much COVID. So now I don't even want I don't want to drag a pet through this nightmare. Because Because at some point I'm gonna move, or I gotta, well, I don't have to move, but I'm gonna move. I want to get rid of a lot of stuff. I don't want to drag any pets with me. Don't want to convince a girlfriend we're moving to Mexico. I will go to Mexico and then find a girlfriend there. I just don't want anything to stop me, you know, and death could. A few other things could stop me, but I just don't want anything to get in the way of what little progress. And things will change here pretty rapidly. I just don't know when. I could jumpstart the whole project, but going to Mexico without residency, I mean, I could go down there and vacation and go look, come back at some point. That's probably what the plan is. Go down, stay down there 180 days, get an idea of what part of Mexico I like. In 3 months, I probably could cover a lot of, you know, there's at least a handful of places I want to go see. And then maybe talk to a realtor, look at a few houses, but, you know, just look. Don't dive into anything. And I could name a few places I'm very interested in. I just wouldn't want to, you know, some people during the pandemic were buying houses sight unseen to go to somewhere, lived there for a few years ago. Well, you know, Chattanooga wasn't for me. Or wherever, people moving to Texas and go, Texas was too hot, and then some people wound up like leaving California and finding out they couldn't afford California anymore, but they could afford wherever they moved to that they all of a sudden don't like. I've already done it here. I liked being here for a lot of years. That was when there was family around, maybe more friends. A lot of my friends have moved out. They're in Vegas, they're in wherever, California. They moved to other places. They didn't even want to stay here for whatever reason. But I noticed since the Olympics, and that was a long time ago now, it really has declined here. And the price of everything's gone up, probably everywhere, but things have declined here. The price of housing is, I'd say, ridiculous, but back home it's more ridiculous. So I don't know. I want to find a place where it doesn't snow. Or if it snows, you know, maybe in the mountains, and I don't live in the mountains. And somewhere where it doesn't get 107 degrees, you know, if it hits 100 once in a blue moon, and I've got air conditioning or a basement, I'll be fine. But I want to stick to somewhere, I grew up somewhere where it didn't get hotter than 80. And if it did, it was a rarity. Now, I guess it does get over 80 there, but it seemed like for 35 years, I never felt 100-degree day, but we did have a week of some sort of freak weather. But now I sort of believe in climate change, that the climate's changing. I don't know if it's people, caused by people, or people messing with the weather, or just change. The axis of the earth might have tilted one way or another, or that ozone layer thing problem that they said is not a big deal anymore, maybe was a big deal. I don't know. But there are places on the planet that have, temperate. Most places, though, that have, like in the United States, that have the best weather, very expensive. But I think in Mexico, I could find a place that, maybe it's more expensive than Tijuana, but who cares? There are places I don't think they call it high desert, but high plains, where the elevation, and yeah, I guess I'll feel the elevation, but I'm up at 4,500 feet. If I had to go up 5,000 feet, another 500 feet, 600 or 1,000 feet, I don't think I'm going to notice a huge difference. I might have to slow down a little bit. I get winded going upstairs sometimes because I smoke. Maybe I'll quit smoking. And I know in Mexico there's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be volcanoes, but I'm not going to move near. Well, you know, I could move to a town that's within 100 miles of a volcano. There's volcanoes up in Idaho. It's not that far away. There's volcano cones here that I guess are inactive in Nevada too. Easy to spot. I don't know of any volcano here. Well, up in Midway, people go swimming in one. There's a natural hot spring there, warm spring. But it's not an active volcano. It's like, I don't know what you call it. And I wouldn't call it inactive, dormant. So a volcano can pop up just about anywhere. How about along the Cascade Range? How about along Oregon and Mount St. Helens? That's supposed to go again. I survived Mount St. Helens. Boy, I remember that shit. We weren't even that close, and it rained ash all over us for days. It went on for a week or more. I thought it was never going to end. Thank God I didn't have a car then, or the paint job would have been like getting sandblasted. They shut down the airport for a little while too, because planes can't fly through volcanic ash apparently. I mean they can, but it kind of screws the blades and turbines, whatever parts. Some Mexican dude with a hat took his hat off and like bowed. That was interesting. Those people did get food, so they must know people. They came in there with a Mexican guy. He must be, that could be the owner. Who knows? So they did get food. So it's who you know. And, that's what I miss about some of the towns I lived in years ago and knowing people. And here I'm just not making an effort anymore, I guess. And I moved again from another town to back here, and most of my neighbors had long gone. I outlived a few. I just noticed another neighbor. This place is fucking empty, and I got asked, what happened to Kevin? I'm like, hope he didn't die, but who knows? So maybe when I get to Mexico, if I do, I'm not gonna have a lot of time to be watching TV and shit. But if I buy a house and finally settle down, yeah, maybe I will catch up on some old stuff that I thought, well, someday I'll watch this when it's in reruns. Do some swimming again, maybe. I don't know if I don't need a swimming pool in my backyard, but it wouldn't suck. If I have a rental, I think I could justify having a pool. But just for me, I think that'd be a luxury I could go without. Because there's other places you can go. There's something called cenotes or cenotes that are basically like underground caverns filled with water that for $1 or $2 you can get a ticket and go swimming. That might just be enough. And here we got something, we just call them a warm spring, the one in the volcano. But that one's expensive. You got to pay $25-$30 for 30 minutes. And then they have communal type pools. I don't necessarily like public pools, but the cenote ones, come on, when there's fresh water coming in and fresh water going out, it's like almost like, and there's the ones that are like rivers. They have certain rivers that people like It's like being at a resort or something, and they're not expensive. I would do that. It's public pools, like chlorinated pools, is what I'm really not a big fan. I've got access to several of them here, and I don't go swimming anymore because I don't. And then I have a house with a pool that is being sold right now, and I haven't swam in that in years. But that one I did because it's hardly ever being used. It wasn't like a public pool. But I could see having a pool again, and just don't know if I don't want chlorine, UV, or I don't know about. I think I swam in a saltwater one as a kid, and I didn't like that at all. It was cold and it was salty. But there's certainly UV ones where it cleans the water with UV rays. Might be, at least use less chemicals. I don't know. I think when your pump goes down, that's when it gets expensive. But you know what? Maybe in Mexico, having a swimming pool pump changed every 5 years or whatever isn't as expensive as getting it fixed in Southern California, which, costs thousands every time the goddamn pump goes out or needs repaired. I think I could go without a pool. I think, what I'd probably want? Just a huge bathtub. I don't think Mexico has, like, you could just go buy a oversized bathtub, but you could probably make one, with tile and stuff. I'd hate to clean something like that. But there's got to be a workaround where it'd be nice to just have a big, I don't know, some people call them hot tubs, but not necessarily a hot tub, just a big tub. Like when I stayed at this hotel, it was tile, and I just filled it up with water. And it was funny, it was in Vegas where they have a shortage of water. I couldn't believe it. It was an older place. And I filled it up and drained it, 3 or 4 times in a week. No big deal. And I'm wondering what kind of water that was. It didn't, it seemed okay. And I think in Mexico, water's not going to be expensive. So I'd rather have something, just like a hot tub. And it could be like semi-outdoor. It could be indoor, it could be outdoor, but just fill it up. I guess in the summer when it's hot, I'd want it cool. In the winter, if it's a little cold, turn up some hot water. Because I noticed they don't really have bathtubs in most of the houses. They have showers. But there's got to be a way. I bet I could probably... That's something I could get here or somewhere. Throw it in throw it in a huge van and smuggle it over the border. I'm smuggling bathtubs. There's got to be a way around it. It'd probably be tile. Or even if it's not tile, maybe it'd be like a pool that you could drain, So maybe some of the year, I just drain the fucking pool. Which here would be very expensive, but there, maybe not. And if it's not chlorinated water, we'll use it like irrigation, There's if you have a well, that'd be really easy to do. And then maybe do some, I've done flood irrigation in California with a well, which I didn't realize that's how some people irrigate. There's got to be a way. Or go swim in the well. I'll just swim in the well. Because I enjoy swimming. I'm not a big fan of public pools anymore. It has nothing to do with COVID. It has more to do with hepatitis or God knows what, monkeypox. Kids with diapers. Stuff like that. People that don't take showers or baths that like to swim. How about that? I don't know. Maybe running a pool's not as expensive in Mexico. I see a lot of places that I'm looked at in the touristy places generally do have a pool. I think I could justify it if I had a Airbnb or something I'm renting, an apartment I'm renting to someone, and maybe they use it once in a while, and whatever, when they move out, I use it. I don't know. A pool for a person that lives alone is, I think, an unnecessary expense. I'd rather have more tacos. I'd rather have more money to go to a hotel somewhere, and I'll swim in a hotel pool every once in a while. That last one I went to, it was a new pool. Nobody was even in it. I took a shower afterwards to get the chlorine off of me. It was nice. I like pools. I just don't necessarily like pools with a whole bunch of people in it, or people that have baby oil on. I've got to get out of here. The manager's sitting behind his car or whatever. Probably noticing me still sitting here fucking around. But I don't know, I just have a feeling. So going back to California, I wasn't so happy there the last time I was there. Things were familiar. I was in my neighborhood I grew up in, but things have changed back there. It changed a lot, enough that now people are talking about it, saying like they ruined this one town we lived in. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy carrying his woman to the car. They've torn down a lot of cool shit. Cool places. Historical places that I thought would be, we'd hoped they'd be around forever. I could name one of them, but I'm not. You guys wouldn't matter. But it's stuff they've torn down that can, once they never be recreated, but they don't build certain structures like they did 80 years ago. Things have changed. One of the places they tore down was in a movie, and now that's all that's left of it is the pictures and the set from a movie they used as a set on a movie. And it's torn down, it's gone, bulldozed, making these fucking apartment. And I've lived in an apartment and it was okay. It wasn't one of those high. I don't know how many units were there. I think I was on the second floor every time. Now I wouldn't want to climb upstairs and carry stuff up to a second floor. But I don't like these big, and I'll be driving by a bunch of them on my way home. They build these ones that, have 200 units all stacked on top of each other, 5 stories high. We're very small. They're not on even an acre of land, hardly. They generally have a garage at the bottom. And we just had one burn, well, not to the ground, but it'll be years before anybody moves back in there. And I have a feeling these neighborhoods, they took industrial neighborhoods that they renovated, built apartments there, and those are going to be the new ghettos, in my opinion. Not maybe today or tomorrow, but give it some time. Give it 20 years. It's going to be like living in the ghetto. And I don't even like living near places that are going to be, that I perceive someday are going to be like the ghetto. And there they go. I must have known somebody. And yeah, that's his real hair. If you guys saw it. Well, I don't need to keep going on and on. I could go live back where I'm parked the car or something. Boy, they're both cute. One was blonde, one was brunette. And I miss being 22 years old again. But not all's lost. I'll still have some life in me. Just gotta get the fuck out of this place. There's nothing here for me. It's a safe place, but I just feel like there's nothing here for me anymore. nothing keeping me here. Boy. Well, I have a few things I gotta do, but when they're done, there's nothing gonna hold me back. I gotta go see the rest of